I believe fundamentally that this AI stock investment that I'm about to share with you is the next 10x, 20x opportunity. Not just my opinion. We are talking about a essentially hidden AI stock in a part of the AI world that nobody's really talking about yet, but it's going to be massive. Tesla's going to be involved. I mean, it's going to be massive as far as this next wave of AI. And I'm going to share with you a 10 to 20x way to get into this. And here's the thing. What I'm about to share with you is a way that you're actually going to be able to invest in private companies that you could not invest in them if you wanted to go directly to them through this method I'm about to share with you. This is massive. The CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, has also talked about this sector, and he's identified it as a multi-trillion-dollar sector. So let's jump into this. It's something you're going to really want to take to pay attention to and watch to the end. So what we're talking about here is a fund called RoboStrategy. The ticker is BOT. BOT. You can get it pretty much anywhere. I'm going to share with you the website, exactly what this fund is and what it is. The ticker is BOT, B-O-T, as I said. So we're going to jump into this. So what this is it's physical AI. And what RoboStrategy has done is create the first fund dedicated to investing in the leading private robotics company through a publicly listed investment company. So you're going to actually be able to invest in private companies if you buy shares in this fund, RoboStrategy. And as I said, it is actually out and currently trading at $37. And if you look at year to date, it's just launched on May 11th. Okay, so it's a brand new fund. I think it's got about $725 million market cap now. This is pretty significant as you see how everything plays out here. Okay, so what we're talking about here is physical AI, right? So CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, has repeatedly argued that AI is moving through three stages. Generative, which is really where we're at now. Agentic, which will be the new kind of agent-based AI that will be deployed and be prevalent in our world as it continues to come. Then there's physical AI. Physical AI has to do with robotics. Remember, under this framework, physical AI could become a multi-trillion-dollar industry over the next 2 decades. Every factory, warehouse, vehicle, robot, and eventually household machine will require AI. Major companies across robotics and semiconductors invested heavily in this area. I will remind you, Tesla's Optimus robot is going to be releasing next year, priced between $20,000 and $30,000. These humanoid robots, if you will, are going to be massive and just kind of the first phase of the infiltration of robotics into our world and becoming just commonplace, right? This is just one example, and I'm sure you've seen the images of the Tesla, Optimus robot. Okay, so the bull case for this is a multi-trillion-dollar space. That's how big this is. So let's take a look and shift. Now, RoboStrategy, what they are is, again, it's a company that built a fund. Ticker is BOT. It's private robotics investments with a public company. All right, so the portfolio of what they're invested in are the following. These are different companies: Figure, Apptronic, Dyna. A lot of these companies are private. Even if you wanted to invest in these, you couldn't anyway. That's what the really amazing thing about this. And I think that's what makes this a 10x, 20x, 30x potential. Think about it this way. If I came to you, back in the day and said, hey, there's this company called NVIDIA. They make computer chips for games and computers and stuff like that. But there's going to be this kind of next big wave of this thing called AI. And if you bought NVIDIA, the stock, you'd probably be up 4,000% in a couple of years. You'd be like, where do I sign up? Where do I get into that? It's kind of like the same thing, okay? Is nobody is arguing against the fact that robots are going to be a major thing. Everybody believes that, but nobody's really paying attention to it yet. And that's really what I want to stress to you, is that nobody's talking about physical AI. Nobody's really talking about the AI infrastructure needed for all the different robots that will be there, be out in various forms and functions in our world, and from factories all the way down to everybody's houses and apartments. Nobody's talking about that. Okay, that's something that's massive. And for you to be able to get into a fund where you're investing in the leading, bleeding edge private companies, and when those companies go public, you will benefit from that, right? Okay, so if you kind of take a look at these are the companies that they've invested in: Dexmate, Standard Bots, Coco Robotics. I've seen these guys actually on the streets before. And here's the percentages. Like, for example, again, portfolio diversification, right? So Figure AI, RoboStrategy has bought 237,000 shares. They have 37 million invested into it. So when Figure AI goes public, obviously RoboStrategy and holders of the RoboStrategy shares will benefit from that. You will get a direct corollary, a direct benefit from that. And that's what's really, really cool. Okay. And so that's what's really amazing about this, is that being able to buy into, again, private companies is pretty significant. Okay. So I thought that this was something worth making a video. I think that this is something you need to be aware of. You can pretty much, I'm going to show you this, Access Bot. You can get it pretty much everywhere. These are the major brokerages that have it: Fidelity, Schwab, Robinhood, Vanguard, E-Trade, all your biggies: SoFi, Webull, Public, Ally, Moomoo, all these kind of guys. You can get it in pretty much on those given places. All right. This is one that I am 100% buying in. On my Robinhood account, I'm going to be buying some of this. I think that this is an early play to get into arguably what is going to be one of the biggest, most massive sectors of AI, which is physical AI, having to do with robotics. The CEO of NVIDIA himself has come out, and they're making investments and things of this nature in this space. Okay, in the fact that this is one of the major spaces that's out there. And again, nobody's really talking about this, guys. Nobody's really talking about robotics and all this kind of stuff. So I just gave you literally, essentially, a secret way to get in now, really early, with this fund, RoboStrategy fund. Again, the ticker's BOT. And by the way, I don't make a dime if you go invest in this fund or not. So it's not like I'm getting paid by RoboStrategy to tell you about this. No, my objective is to find opportunities for you with this channel, for you to get into different great investment vehicles, either in tech or AI or whatever it may be. And I think that this, hands down, is a winner. Okay. And I'm going to be buying some of this myself. Okay. Because when I found out about this, I'm like, wait a minute, I get to, via this fund, invest in private robotics companies that are leading the way in arguably what is going to be one of the biggest, most massive AI sectors down the road. Again, I'll remind you, like, if you to go back in time 2-3 years ago and said, hey, there's this little company called NVIDIA, not company, but they're about to explode. Would you be interested in getting in? Or if I said, hey, there's this thing called Micron, memory, AMD, whatever, right? All those companies existed before, right? But they exploded because of AI. And that's what we're talking about here, is we're all looking for the next 10X, 20X, 30X opportunity. And I think this is one of them. Now, am I guaranteeing you those returns? No, not at all. But I think this is that big, and this is a way to get in now. Really, it's kind of a hidden secret way to get in now that nobody's talking about, into a sector that really not a lot of people are talking about. You wait a year or so down the road, all people are going to be talking about is robotics, AI, because it's going to be partially pushed by the launch of, again, the Tesla Optimus robot, which, when that happens, it's going to open everybody's world up to the possibility of what robotics plus AI are going to give us in our day-to-day lives. And so you're getting to get in now early, before this has really even reached mainstream consciousness yet. So that's what's interesting about this. I think that this is something you definitely ought to think about. Okay. So I always offer you guys an opportunity to make even more money trading stocks. If you do not know the best time to buy or sell any of the stocks that you own and make as much profit as possible, this is how you can do it. I have a trading indicator called X1 Algo. There's a link in the description below this video to go check it out. I'll even pin a link to in the top of the comments. It's about $1 a day to use it. There's a 30-day, no questions asked, money back refund guarantee. So let me show you what it does. It gives these, see this little green box right here? So see that's a buy alert, and that's a sell alert right there. Okay. So between that buy alert and that sell alert, over a period of time, you can see there's some others issued in 42 days, 127%. Yeah. Okay. So meaning it tells you when to buy and when to sell any stock you want, period. Notice it gave a sell alert before Micron took that massive move down, that 20% move down that we just saw in the last week or so, right? That's what it tells you to do. It tells you when to buy and when to sell. If you're not using a trading indicator or some technology like this, you're flying blind and you are guessing, and you're not putting as much profit in your pocket, in your family's pocket, in your bank account, so that you can accomplish your goals and what you're trying to do. Isn't that ultimately why you're here buying AI stocks, trading, and trying to make more money, right? You're trying to make more profit off this. And I'm offering you a way to do that for about $1 a day. Okay. So link down there. There's a discount code down there with it, SP1. Use that discount code at checkout. It gets it down to the price to about $1 a day. Yeah, there's a 30-day no questions asked money back guarantee. There's live coaching every week in the members area, and there's a private Discord chat community behind this where you can be part of a community and everything. So you have everything here you need. All you got to do is take the leap and just do something a little bit different and try to do something different. Remember, you have 30 days, no questions asked, money back refund guarantee. You don't like it for any reason, you can cancel, get a refund. So you've lost nothing, okay? But you've tried something different. Also, later, if you want to cancel at any time, you can. There's no long-term contracts, no commitments, nothing like that, okay? So at $1 a day, why not try it? I'll see you. Links right down there. Take care. Bye.